A dead end?
No, there's an elevator. Looks operational.
I can't believe there's actually an underground harbor here. There are even boats docked.
I only see Dahnans. Think they were forced to work here?
Probably. Let's see what they have to share about Almadria. You didn't happen to see a lord come by, did you?
Sorry, friend, but she just left. Came by with a whole posse of underlings, boarded her ship, and took off at first wind. We damn near got blown away. She was that much in a hurry.
Damn! So we missed her!
You guys trying to go after her? Need a ride?
Are you saying you know how to steer a ship?
Spent most of my life chained to the deck of some ship or other. Yeah, I know my jib from my boom.
We don't know how dangerous it'll be. Better you give us the boat and stay on solid ground.
Whoa there! You been out on the water before? The sea ain't nobody's friend, you know. You need a sea dog like me or you'll sink her before she makes it out the harbor.
We're losing time. Sir, we're in your debt.
Now that's more like it. Name's Mahavar. Just give me a holler when you're all set and we'll set sail. This is like a dream come true. Never gotten to captain a ship before. Never would have thought I'd get a chance like this. Thank you, y'all.
The pleasure's all ours. Think we'll catch up to her?
Course we will. They got too much weight on them. Meanwhile, this ship's carrying nothing but us salty scalawags. They got a good head start on us, but we can take them.
Do you know if there are any Dahnans on that ship?
Couldn't say for sure. On the one hand, seeing as it's supposed to be something of another castle, I'd reckon they probably wouldn't let a bunch of Dahnans on board. On the other hand, I'd be real surprised if the Renans were able to pilot that thing all by themselves. In any case, it's gonna be a while before we reach her. Until then, you're all free to do whatever. Just don't fall in the ocean.
I know Mahavar said we could take it easy, but there's not exactly a lot to do on this boat. I guess I'll check in on everyone and see how they're holding up.
I took a look around inside the ship just in case, but I didn't find anything that looked like it might be suspicious.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
You know, it wasn't until I left Calaglia that I finally realized just how big the world is.
When we tore down the wall in Calaglia, and I could finally see the horizon in the far-off distance, I had the exact same thought.
Yeah, somehow the sea is different though. I'm not sure just how to put it. It's almost as if it just goes on forever. I bet my old man would have been blown away by this view.
Yeah.
Ever since he died, I've been thinking about what it was that he was really trying to say to me at the end. I keep going over his words again and again. And heck, maybe I'm just overthinking it all. But still, sometimes I wonder if it could have turned out differently. If there was something I could have done. But no matter how much I play it back, I'm still no closer to finding any answers. And then there's everything with Rinwell. I stopped her from killing Almeidrea, but was that really the right thing to do? Or did I just end up making things harder for her? I feel like such a screw-up.
You're not the only one. I keep asking myself what Zephyr would have done had he been here. Like, I think, how would Zephyr have handled Rinwell?
Yeah, I think he definitely would have stopped her. No doubt about it.
And that's exactly what you did, Law. I think he'd be really proud of you.
Alphen.
Zephyr's not the worst yardstick to measure ourselves against. Let's both do our best to make him proud.
Sounds like a deal. Thanks, Alphen.
Hold that pose long enough and someone might just come along and paint you.
Any artist who'd see fit to paint me needs their eyes tested.
What can you tell me about Almeidrea?
Not as much as you'd probably wish. I only ended up crossing paths with her a handful of times, after I was chosen to be a lord on Lenegis.
Ah, right. I almost forgot about Lenegis. How much do you think they know about what's been going on down here?
It's safe to assume they know everything, though I know not why they choose to remain uninvolved. Perhaps they see what's been happening as just part of the ongoing crown contest.
Even what Almeidrea did? Has it really reached the point where her actions are seen as normal?
Not to my knowledge, no. At its core, the crown contest is a competition to see who can amass the most astral energy. And to amass such energy, slaves are needed to collect it from. It's therefore against the Lord's interest to kill them.
So then why would Almeidrea do something like that?
We must remember that time is running out in the crown contest. Perhaps her hand was forced, so to speak. It is a way to accrue astral energy faster and in larger quantities than through slave labor. Doing so kills off that labor force, obviously, but it is a means to an end nonetheless. No one could have foreseen that something like the Hollowing would arise back when the contest was first conceived.
Is becoming the Sovereign of Rena really that important to the Lords?
Of course. It's the greatest prize one can attain in their eyes. In that respect, at least, I'm really not that surprised that Almeidrea resorted to what she did, as utterly despicable as it is.
It's reassuring to hear you feel the same way I do.
I worry that the only reason I never did anything similar in Menancia was due to my lack of ambition.
If you didn't want to be reminded of your past, you could have just plugged your ears.
You think too highly of me. I'm afraid I must respectfully disagree. I'm not nearly as virtuous of a person as you might wish to believe.
If that's so, would you have been so shaken up when Kisara lost her brother? Why else would you turn your back on your own kind and choose to fight for Miguel's dream? Aren't we just Danans?
A curious choice of words. Did what you see in Mahag Saar hit you that hard?
What Deadheim did to that city, he didn't liberate anyone. Anyone who refused to follow him was an enemy in his eyes. 300 years of Renan rule taught him nothing.
What I have come to understand is that the conflict extends beyond Danan versus Renan. There is an internal quarrel as well. I mean to bring about a true, lasting coexistence in Menancia. But there are more walls we must topple first.
And you don't think you can pull it off?
Well, you seem to think you can, at least.
Does that make us enemies?
Insofar as an exchange of swordplay, no, it doesn't.
Not good enough for you?
Are you really... Forgive me. I will continue to fight by your side a while longer. That much I have decided.
You don't look so good. Are you all right?
The floor. It keeps moving. How can you stand it? How can you even stand?
I'm not the best person to ask about discomfort. I can't feel pain, remember?
I still can't believe what happened in Niez. Even now. As a lord, my expectations for Almeidrea were already pretty low. But the way she treated human lives like they're mere playthings.
Yeah. And it wasn't as if the situation in Niez was improving much to begin with.
You mean Deadheim?
The whole reason I started fighting back was because of my anger at the atrocities of Renan rule. Back then, all I had to worry about was fighting the Renans for the sake of the Danans. But then I met Shion and the people of Menancia, and things became a lot more complicated. It's even messier now that we have to worry about Danans like Deadheim.
It used to be that the Danans were the ones in the right, and the Renans were the ones in the wrong. Though, maybe that was just a biased perspective from being on the side of the oppressed.
Exactly. I'll never tolerate the Renans ruling over us. But nothing ever ends up being as black and white as you'd expect it to be either. That's clear to me now.
That said, even putting aside bad apples like Deadheim for a moment, you may be able to free the Danan people, but that won't undo 300 years of oppression. It'll be hard for them to not give in to their resentment. I think maybe that's why I clung to our dream so hard back in Menancia.
Even if his motivations weren't pure, Dohalim has a good heart. He didn't sink to the depths Almeidrea did.
You don't understand. I'm saying that it goes deeper than that. This hierarchy we live in, it's not solely something the Renans invented. I remember a story Rinwell once told me. She said before the Renans invaded, we Danans had our own class system. We are the ones who divided ourselves. I saw it in Deadheim's eyes. He wanted to rule over others.
To hear Bayfon tell it, Deadheim wasn't always that way.
But as time went on, and he and the Darkwings fought the Renans, he eventually changed. I guess what I'm getting at is, if we defeat the Renans but just go back to the way things were before, was there even any point in fighting?
But that world isn't the one you want to create, right?
Maybe not. But to tell you the truth, these days I'm not so sure that dream is even possible.
You have your promise to Megal, though. Your home and the people of Menancia are depending on you.
I know. My brother. He truly believed in his dream of coexistence. And I suppose, even now, many people still do. And then, there's you.
Who, me?
You and Shion.
I'm not sure I follow.
Okay, then let me spell it out for you. How many other Renans and Danans do you know that get on as spectacularly as the two of you?
I don't know that I'd say spectacularly.
Well, I suppose it's really all a matter of how you look at it, isn't it?
I really don't see what you're getting.
Ugh, I think I'm getting seasick again. Sorry. Can you just give me a wide berth for a few minutes?
Do you think Law is okay?
If you're worried, why don't you ask him yourself?
Yeah. I think maybe I should apologize to him too. I should apologize to all of you, really.
Us too?
Well, I was kinda lying to you all this whole time. I was blind to everything except my own revenge. I never even considered the struggles all of you might be facing.
We all have things we'd prefer to keep to ourselves, Rinwell. So what if you had something to hide? It doesn't undo the good that you've done, or the people that you've helped save along the way.
But that's not what I mean.
I know. You're talking about Almeidrea, right?
Yeah. I hate her, Alphen. I can't stop hating her. Even just thinking about her makes my head feel like it's going to explode. But it's not just her. I think about the way Law looked at me. I hated the Lord who killed my parents. And I hated the Renans I had to travel alongside. And yet, Cyslodia's Dahnans backstab each other like it's a normal way of life. And Mahag Saar has people like Deadeye. But then there are people like Law and Xion. It's all just too much. I don't know what to think anymore.
Law never said that you had to forgive Almeidrea. It's only natural you would hate your family's murderer. But
But what?
Law left home because of how much he hated his father. As a result of that, well, I think Law spent a lot of time thinking about how they never got to make things right. And if I had to guess, killing Ganabel didn't make any of those feelings go away. Law let revenge fuel him, and I think now he's afraid you'll do something you'll regret.
Afraid?
Whatever happens to Almeidrea when this is all over is up to you. I'll respect whatever choice you make. Just think it over carefully for me, okay? You still have time.
Okay. Thanks, Alphen. Say, back then, after the fight, I think I really made Xion mad. I don't know, though. Maybe it just looked that way. But I guess I just can't seem to understand how she feels. Do you know why she gets like that?
Xion's... She can be a tough nut to crack. She doesn't really talk a whole lot about herself.
It's just what she said about hate being a source of strength. Where did that come from? I wonder how it feels, not being able to hold another person's hand.
Lean much further, you'll go overboard. Keeping an eye out for Almeidrea's ship?
I'm looking at the ocean.
The ocean?
Yeah. The waves. They help me think. This world is filled with natural wonders. The icy air and white peaks of Cyslodia. The lush green glades of Menancia. The harsh wastes of Calaglia. But Menancia has its Lake of Death, and Nias its ruins. And they wouldn't be there if it weren't for that contest.
Say we actually manage to put a stop to the crown contest for good. What do you think will happen between the Dahnans and the Renans then?
You first.
Well, I want to believe that the coexistence we saw in Menancia can happen elsewhere, too. It's insane for all of us to keep fighting. If Menancia can do it, so can everyone else.
Yeah, I think that would be good too. A world where everyone can get along. At least, that's what I've come to believe.
You sure have changed.
I can't lie to you. Since I was young, I've looked down on the Dahnans too. But I've seen a lot. And I see things differently now. I've seen so many ugly and terrible things in this world. And yet, they didn't come from just the Dahnans. And the good things too. They didn't come from just the Renans. Kindness and cruelty exist on both sides. A person's race doesn't factor into it. So, I guess you're right after all, Alphen. I have changed. You know, I've never actually touched another person like this.
Shionne.
Ever since I was on Lenegis, I've always been alone. Even after I came to Dahna. Always.
And now?
Do you still not remember your past?
No. Sometimes it feels like I can almost remember. But then this mask stops me.
The mask keeps you from remembering why you have the mask in the first place. It's a little ironic, isn't it?
A little. Well, it won't be long now before you're rid of those thorns, you know? Only 2 lords remain. And once you have their master course, you'll be able to create the Renis Alma, right? Then you can... Shionne?
Sorry, it's nothing. Promise. You're right, though. It'll all be over soon. I never could have made it this far on my own. I have everyone to thank for that. Including... especially you, Alphen.
Don't worry about it. We're friends, after all.
Yeah, we are.
Wonder how much longer it's going to be before we catch up to Almeidrea. I'll ask Mahavar.
Look who's up! Good timing. We're closing in on her stern as we speak.
That's the ship? She's huge. Law, go gather the others, will you? Think you'll be able to flank them without getting spotted?
Yeah, with the fog as our ally, I think I might just pull it off. Long as we ain't too noisy, we should be okay.
What'll you do if they catch on to us?
Not much I can do. Ship that size, they'll probably blow us to bits before we ready cannons.
Persistent little things. Evidently, I shouldn't have spared the wretched vermin. Hungry already, my dear? Worry not, for you shall have plenty to feast upon shortly.
Perfect. You managed to get us right up beside them.
I'll stay with the ship so we can leave as soon as you're done.
Good. Then let's find Almadria.
Shion, I want to thank you.
What brought this on?
What you said helped to calm me.
Don't mention it.
Now that's what I call a ship!
Yeah. The biggest one in all of Mahag Saar. So big that it took years to construct.
For all we know, Kelzelik may well have been smuggling materials to help build it. In which case it would be yet another mistake on my part.
We don't know that she was only getting materials from Menancia.
You think it's possible that they might have come from elsewhere too? Yeah, I guess I could see it.
But what do you think Almadria plans to do from here on out, now that she's abandoned her realm and sailed out to sea?
She'll be filling her coffers with gold, most likely. Then she'll sit back and enjoy the show as the other lords duke it out. Or something to that effect, at least.
I wouldn't put it past her.
She's strong, yet shrewd, and will stoop to any low. A dangerous one indeed.
She's not the first, and she won't be the last. This is a lord we're talking about, remember?
Sounds like you've made up your mind already.
There was never anything to decide. No one who can smile like that while doing what she did deserves to roam free.
Yeah, you're right.
This might not be the best time, but if you have a minute. That mask of yours, it was shattered by a blow from Balsef when you fought back in Calaglia, correct?
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. I thought it was a goner.
Balsef's brute strength was in a league all its own. Yet half the mask remains. It's remarkably durable. Too durable to be Dahnan in origin.
Shion said the same thing. as if the fact I was wearing it meant there had to be more to me than met the eye.
You recalled your name when the mask broke, I hear.
Yeah, that's right. Although to tell you the truth, I'm a little scared what might happen when I lose the remaining half. Then again, the idea of not doing something because I'm afraid scares me even more. That's why I go on fighting.
Only he who first faces the night catches a glimpse of the dawn.
Come again?
It's nothing. Forget I said anything.
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
This won't be easy.
We'll be the I'm ready! I'll have to take my revenge on you!
I see one, eh?
I'll be dead in an instant!
We're not finished! Smash you!
Thermometer Ranger!
Now! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
I know fine weapon material when I see it.
Got it!
One's all mine! Slash! Just the
Lightning Orb! Ray!
Swallow Blade! Slash! Burn in hell! First strike! Swallow Blade!
Go! It's
Slash!
already
Swallow Blade!
Spread!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
That went well.
Are you okay? You're not too tired, are you?
Nope, I'm fine. Let's keep moving.
It's on!
Reload! Not in your dreams! This one's mine!
You think that shield will save you?
Can't get out of this!
May 1,000 gales carry you it!
I'm on it!
It's
almost too strong!
Split it open! Be my guest!
The enemy wields armor too.
You'll soon see about that! Do it!
Looks like we got them all.
Hi, Hoodle!
Bring us down! Smash you! Like the blade! Burn it!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Little help!
Prepare to be seized!
I'll be saving you! If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Hurricane!
Lightning orb!
Eagle Fly!
Bolt now!
Swallow Blade!
Thunderblade!
Let's refrain from losing.
No choice!
You got spirit!
Nothing gets by me!
Confiscated!
I can carve through
This one's mine!
Swallow Blade!
You pay for what you did! Thunderblade! Here's a healing
Swallow
arrow!
Blade!
Dragon Shell!
We're not ready! Swallow Blade!
What's this? Do it! Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
I'm a true gunslinger around here. Let me help.
Swallow Blade!
What's this? Lightning orb! Photon blast! Confiscated!
Eagle Fly! Rinwell! Light Burst Force!
Radiant Genesis!
Barely a blip on our radar.
Never seen anything like it.
It's an authentication key. They're quite common.
Maybe where you're from, but this is new to me.
It might go in an elevator somewhere. We should test it out.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Swallow Blade! Not today! Swallow Blade!
None shall escape the duel of the arms! Going.
Now you see what I can do! Blind freak! Get me to still!
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
Right, here goes!
You got spirit!
Try this!
Careful! He has some kind of camouflage!
Slot! Swallow Blade! Slot! Swallow Blade!
By the I never miss!
Eat
Not
this!
on my watch!
Lightning
orb!
won't save you!
Light ass dance in the wind!
Swallow blade!
In here!
I can only rely.
More physics blast! Here comes! More with that
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Swallow blade!
Think with your ears!
Swallow blade!
Let's give it a whirl! Divine Streak! I'll fix you up!
Do it! Remove!
Astral Energy!
Say no more!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
This looks nice and tough.
Searing Flame! Reload! Lightning Orb! Mega Wave! By the power Not on my watch! Mega Wave! Do it!
Mirage!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Lunar Collision! Light Astral!
Talon Hurricane! Onward and upward.
These don't seem like your run-of-the-mill Zeugles the Renans usually keep around.
Indeed. I believe it's safe to assume these were used in her experiments.
They certainly look as twisted as her.
Even here. Little help!
Swallow blade! For my lord! Will ya?
Ignite!
Laser Field! Here's Evo! Divine Strike!
Take down their defenses!
I see one, eh?
None shall
Now you
escape
see
my
what I
sight.
can
The airborne
This one's mine.
scoundrel!
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
Can't get out of this!
Back, will ya?
Daring to the wind! Reload! Air try to heal you all! That's my cue!
Swallow blade!
Shut them down!
I'll be saving this
Swallow
one!
blade! On your
Mega
knees!
I owe you one.
Raging Cascade!
Swallow blade!
Field! I'll be saving
Swallow
this
blade!
one! Dance to the wind!
Swallow blade!
In here!
Eat this!
Warp
you
to
look
the
back,
water!
will ya?
More where that came from!
Plasma shot! On your
Here's the evil! Sleep now! Freeze laser! I'll be saving this one!
This one's all mine!
Cyan instant!
Plasma shock!
Shattering
Evil!
Attack!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
This is...
I remember seeing instruments just like this back in Estaluva Forest.
It looks and smells like some kind of medicine.
Whatever this place was used for, I doubt it was anything of repute. A comfortable win.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
You picked the wrong fight! I'm going in!
I see what I can do!
Dance in the wind! Field!
Swallow blade!
Larva's in the fort!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
Be a breeze. Get in, get out.
Swallow blade!
Distraction!
Fire support!
Where are you going? You'll have no mercy!
Bring him down! Support! Listen!
Here's the flame of fury! Burning
Explosive
Spread!
Barely a blip on our radar.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
What is that huge flower-looking thing up there? Is that the ship's engine?
Indubitably. As one might expect, large ships require large engines in order to sail.
And if we destroyed it?
We might well sink the ship. Who knows if we would be able to escape before that happens.
Almadria sure has been busy since the contest began.
This isn't Almadria's doing.
You mean she didn't build this?
The body, yes. However, my guess is that the engine comes from a starship.
A starship? As in one of those vessels used to go to and from Lenegis?
Correct. The technology employed on Lenegis and in starships is more advanced than anything in our daily lives. Almadria may be resourceful, but she could never produce an engine like this on her own.
You mean to tell me we've got even bigger enemies waiting for us up in the sky? My head hurts just thinking about it.
Don't worry about that for now. Just focus on taking care of Almadria. What's this thing?
Gotta break through! Bring him down!
Glacial Spear! Pierce evil!
Fire in the hole!
Freeze laser!
Swallow blade! My shield!
Now! Let's keep our eyes on the prize. Let's dispose of the trash.
Now you'll learn! Swallow blade! Swallow blade! Burn in hell! I won't show you any mercy! Total devastation! Swallow blade!
A comfortable win.
Dispose of the trash.
Dragon Swallow blade!
Do it! Barely a blip on our radar.
I see one, eh?
Now you see what I can do!
My shield!
Not on my watch!
This
Where are
way!
you going?
In a bind?
We're not kidding!
Now!
Light burst forth!
Radiant finishing!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
Hi, Hoodle! Lunar Cross!
Burn it up!
Lightning Orb! Lightning Conduct!
Do it!
Swallow blade! Go lead! Hey! Blow them away!
I'll heal you all!
Slash!
Thunder Field!
Take Swallow blade!
Raging Cascade!
Eagle Fly!
Field!
Swallow
I'll be
blade!
saving this one!
Slash!
May 1,000
Swallow
units carry
blade!
to shreds!
roll now!
Crafty nail! Too much to handle!
Ready and front!
Dance in the wind! In here!
Do as I say!
Swallow blade!
I'm on Water blast! Lightning condemned!
Swallow blade!
Too much to handle!
It's time!
Searing flame!
Do it! Swallow blade!
Shield! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Barely a blip on our radar.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
Flame of fury!
Strike!
Glacial spear.
Swallow
Here,
blade!
I never miss! Lightning raging cascade!
That
Your
was all
dreams.
mine. Now you see what I can do.
Eat
I'm
them!
on a roll now.
Cyan into
Do it!
anymore!
Hurricane!
Hear me! Flame of fury! Burning strike!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize. Get lost!
Strike!
Hurricane!
Take this!
Denied!
Swallow blade! Rip it down!
Cyan tear you to shreds!
Flush!
Glacial spear.
Pierce
I'm on
evil!
it! Damn it!
Freeze
Too
laser!
fast! Eat this! Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Don't get complacent.
You're saying we should check the Owl Forest?
Right, here goes! Got you now!
Swallow blade! Smash you!
Do it!
Swallow blade!
It can hide itself? Amazing!
Now I'm in the groove! Swallow blade!
Not today!
Healing circle!
Now whenever! Swallow blade!
This one's mine! Not on my watch!
Will this
In a
help?
bind!
Leave the charges to me. Far enough.
Healing circle! Lightning condemned!
Flush! Swallow blade! Off like both flush! Swallow blade!
Searing flame!
Come back!
Aluminum Ranger! Mega Ray! Gemini
Swallow
Arrow!
blade!
Arrow Squall!
Eat this!
Eternal death!
Flush!
Swallow blade! Pierce here! More Freeze Laser!
Swallow blade! Flush! Swallow blade!
Storm! Lightning! Downfall!
Eternal devastation! Not today!
Swallow blade! What's this? Flush!
Here goes you all!
Now I'm real mad! Swallow blade! Hurricane!
Healing
Fabulous job!
Raging Cascade! I'm ready!
Now or never!
Ridwell.
Frozen!
Hammer.
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
She sure spared no expense on her castle.
This must be...
The captain's quarters. The presence of the spirit vessel and the sheer extravagance on display can leave no doubt.
There's no one here.
Yeah, but I doubt she's out for a moonlight stroll. You think she jumped ship and ran away again?
I doubt it. The conniving witch is probably up to something.
Agreed. In any case, as long as she hasn't suddenly sprouted wings, she has to be somewhere on the ship. Let's keep looking.
What's wrong? Sweetie? Is something scaring you?
Maybe he just doesn't like being in her room.
I think there's more to it than that. What could it be?
The way this key's been placed, it's like she's daring us to come find her.
Yeah, like it's all some damn game to her.
this the ship's cargo? What a pain. I can't see anything past all this stuff.
Gotta break through! For my lord!
I never miss! Not on my watch!
Swallow blade!
I want you!
Swallow blade! It's Eternal devastation!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion. What's this thing?
Hear me! Flame of fury!
Burn in hell!
Burning strike!
Glacial spear!
Those flying creatures are a real pain in the butt! Feel!
Swallow blade! Aim for their weak
More for
spot!
the stockpile!
I'm just getting started. I can
blast!
carve through
Swallow blade!
It's weakened!
This ends
Lightning
now!
orb! It's ready!
Take this. I'll tear you apart.
Far enough!
This one's all mine!
Vanquish darkness!
I'll tear you apart. I'm on a roll now.
Not today!
Divine
blade!
strength! Now!
Rinwell. Light burst forth.
Radiant denizen!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Did that get rid of the barrier?
We'll just have to go back and check.
Little help! Here's a healing arc!
Swallow blade! Damn it!
Lightning orb! Not on my watch!
They really don't give up, do they?
Bring them down.
None shall
Swallow
escape
blade!
my judgment!
Split it open.
Be my guest!
Dance to the wind! In here!
Dragon show.
More for the
Watch this.
stockpile!
The enemy wields arc too.
You'll soon see about that!
Looks like we won.
As I recall, there's a recipe we've yet to try.
Yeah, this is the last ingredient we need.
Then let's go ahead and prepare it.
only one last place to look. Straight ahead.
If Almeidria's not in her own room, just where the hell is she?
It's possible she may be on the bridge, but I would guess that she's waiting for us elsewhere on the ship.
Which means she's most likely chosen a place where she'll have the advantage in a fight.
Be careful, guys. I came from an entire family of Dahnan mages, and that woman murdered all of them. All on her own. I hate to say it, but she's an incredibly powerful astral artist.
We already know she specializes in controlling wind astral energy. But on top of that, she might try to sick that monster on us again, too.
Right. To that woman, life itself is just a toy for her to play with. Let's make sure we put an end to it.
There she is! Almeidria!
But all alone? Watch yourselves. She's probably planning something.
I was getting rather tired of waiting around. Oh my, and I see you came along as well, Dahnan Witch.
Almeidria.
What's this? I thought you couldn't stand the sight of me. Go on, little one. Show me the full force of that hatred of yours. Otherwise, run and hide like the rat you are.
That's enough! How can you smile while causing pain to so many others?
That is the way of those who possess great power. The very way we Renans live by. Those with power set the example, and those without it are forced to obey. Though you two seem to have forgotten that's the way these things work.
And you really think that justifies your actions? You turned all those people into a hollowed sea!
What foolishness. It's only natural that the fate of a slave differ from that of its owner. Very well, I admit I did fan the flames just a tad back in Niez. But it wouldn't have mattered in the slightest if there hadn't been a spark to ignite. Without it, my actions would have been fruitless. Ultimately, it was their very own burning hatred that laid them to waste. To say it was all my fault is simply laying blame at the wrong feet.
No one's perfect. We all have darkness in our hearts. But the atrocities that you've committed, they're unthinkable! Your heart is nothing but darkness!
What a fool! To think time and time again you would challenge Renan authority without so much as an inkling of how things actually work. Such ignorance is why your kind has been enslaved for 300 years.
Almeidria!
Well, if it isn't Lord Dohalim.
These people are my allies and friends. I won't let you insult them so.
My, what a shock. I never would have expected you to claim mere slaves as your companions. If I didn't know any better, I would question your noble lineage. Oh, how far the mighty have fallen. A traitor such as yourself hardly deserves to be called a lord.
You are nothing compared to Dohalim.
Rinwell.
He would never stand by and laugh. His people hollowed!
Ha! What does it matter? You're descended from those who allowed the power and knowledge entrusted to them to wither away. Your pitiful family may have feared it, but I do not. That knowledge and power is all mine to command. And now, you will witness what that power's truly capable of! Mesmold! Enjoy your meal! Such sad eyes, child. Let me reunite you with your parents.
Shut up! I'm gonna take you down if it's the very last thing I do!
That's right. Loathe me. Every step brings you closer to being me!
You're wrong! You're wrong! I'm nothing like you! Where would I came from? Living!
In a bind?
Art Steel! Raging Cascade!
Eternal devastation!
Not in your dreams!
Where are you going?
This one's
Stay
all mine!
away!
Dance in the wind!
Eternal devastation! Ignite!
Sleep now! I'll be ready for this one! Let's go!
Power blade!
Where that came from? Thunder Blade! Cyan
I'm on
Instant!
it! Power blade!
Energy! Dance in the wind! Air
Know your
Air
place!
Blast!
Flash! Swallow blade!
Raging Cascade!
Crush! Win! Swallow blade!
in order.
Plasma shock!
Feel! By the power of water! This one! Gemini
Hurricane!
Not in your dreams!
Stunner!
I can carve through armor! Take this!
Talon Hurricane!
If it's in the sky, it's mine! Sleep now!
Stunner!
Over the stop sign!
You picked the wrong fight!
Take Thunder Field!
What's she doing now?
She's infusing her beast with more power.
Get ready!
Eternal devastation!
Air! Cover the caster!
Blooming with hatred.
Tear you apart!
Thunder Field!
Talon Storm!
Lightning Raging Cascade! Lunar Corruption! Art Steel!
Take this!
Here's a healing arc!
Wretched fool!
Though that feels so great.
Eternal devastation! It's on!
By the power of water!
Stunner! Jubilee! In an instant! Impact block!
In the wind!
Foolish
Burning!
Eagle Fly! They're attacking separately!
I can't land a hit on her!
Keep an eye on it. And take out the monster first.
She's no stranger to astral arts.
I can take care of that.
Yeah, take it away! Now you see what I can do!
I never miss!
No!
Dance in the wind!
Can't end here!
I could do this all
I'll be
day!
saving this one!
Looks bad.
Wits about you people.
Lightning Cadet! Thunderbolt!
I can handle it.
The winds of judgment blow your way! Fall
This
for
one-
impending calamity!
Dance in the wind!
Chaotic disaster!
Light astral energy!
So that's the trick up her sleeve.
Your astral arts aren't so special. And now, they're mine!
Plasma shock!
Here's a healing arc! Not on my watch!
Plasma shock!
Try and run!
Stunner!
Here we go again!
Inspiration!
By the power of water!
Now I'm real mad! Here we go again! Making an armor is all mine!
Thunder Field!
This should do it for
Raging
me!
Cascade!
Eternal devastation! Crush! Eternal devastation!
Take this!
Hear me! Flame
You
this
will
one's
suffer.
mine!
Here we go
In the
again!
wind! Air blast! Art
Eternal
Steel!
devastation!
Thunder healing circle!
Eternal devastation!
Thank you.
My true power!
I'm on her master core.
Not while I'm around, she isn't.
Not today!
Dance in the wind!
Talon Hurricane!
Eagle Fly!
Eternal devastation! Crush!
Ridwell!
I'll never forgive you!
What?
I'll take you down! I'll end you! Astral energy! Full throttle! Go! You murdered my mother and father. But I'm not like you.
Rinwell.
Even now, I hate you. But here I am, unable to let go. Honestly, even if I took my hatred out on you here and now, it wouldn't make me feel any better in the long run. I realize that now. So, I won't kill you. I'll take you in and make damn sure justice is served the right way.
You would dare mock me with your foolish, useless pity? A Dahnan, nothing more than a mere slave. I won't allow you to...
It's not about what you think. Or being Dahnan or Renan. Because you'll atone for the crimes you committed. And that's all.
It's that swordsman again.
Oh, Lord Volron, what brings you here? No, forgive me. I've forgotten myself. Please allow me to make it up to you, my lord.
Silence now, wretched snake. Does it hurt? It should. That pain is proof you're still alive. Enjoy it.
Volron. Years ago, the Lord of Ganeth Haros met a sudden death. His successor was a man by that very name, Volron.
And like a restless lover, I've come back for more.
Stop right there!
Think you can cut me down? What?
Wait, what just happened to him? Alvin! Say something! Let go of me! Let me go!
Xion!
Alvin!
Xion!
Alvin!
Come and find me, if you truly are the Sovereign. After all this time, I'll be free from this hell. I can finally go home. I doubt I'll ever see this place again. Might as well walk the block once more for old time's sake. As usual, nobody wants to explain anything to me. They just threaten and harass me instead. What does everyone think I am? Some sort of talking pet? They're the ones that dragged me all the way up here in the first place. Bastards. I shouldn't have bothered coming out. Might as well head back to my room. just wanted to go back. To Dana. To my home.
Alphen.
Leori.
Alphen. Live for me.
No. Leori. No!
Wait, please. Wait, What was that? That... How long ago was that? That's right. Shion. Oh, right. That's what pain felt like. So much for it all being a bad dream. Where am I? Where is everyone? I need to find them. Better start looking. Leori. Shion. Damn it.
Eternal devastation! Crush! Eternal devastation! Crush! Slash! Swallow blade! Slash! Crush! Eternal devastation! Crush! Swallow blade! Eternal devastation! Slash! Eternal devastation! is all mine! Crush! Eternal devastation! Crush! Slice! Crush! Eternal devastation! Crush! Eternal devastation!
Alvin?
Rinwell!
What happened just now? Normally you'd be able to take that thing with your eyes closed.
Thank goodness you're alive. Are you all right?
Yeah.
I'm just glad we found you in one piece. You were the only one still missing. There's a village back the way we came from, Thistleim. Kisara and La are already there.
Rinwell, where are we?
Ganeth Haros, Volron's realm. Remember?
Ushered by the waves straight to the enemy stronghold. A rare stroke of luck, it would seem.
Luck?
If Volron's here, that means Shion's close too, right?
Shion? Oh. Right. Of course.
Are you sure you're feeling okay? You seem a little off.
He's probably just exhausted. Let's save the catching up for when we're back at the village.
You sense one of your pals, Hoodle?
That's no ordinary enemy I see over there.
Speaking of Thistleim, it's populated by Danans, but they're not under the rule of any lord. Pretty refreshing, huh? The whole town was built by Danan defectors, escapees from elsewhere. This area's teeming with stray Zeugles, though, so heaven only knows how they managed to set up a community here. The ordeal seems to have left them understandably on edge. Kisara and La are back there right now trying to convince them of our good intentions. Say, Alphen, it looks like you got your face back then.
Yeah.
And your sense of pain, too, it would seem. Any connection?
Really? Oh, but that means...
Probably.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Swallow blade!
Confiscated!
Slice! Elusive deity! Swallow blade!
Hit!
Slice!
Take that! Is it hot? Dispatch it out again!
Slice! Show thy mystic mercy!
Wind
Swallow
astral
blade!
energy! Blah
Very
blah blah!
circle.
Thunderblade!
Slice! Resonate with the earth! Blade! Slice! Swallow blade! Prepare to be sealed! Slice!
Thunderfield! Raging cascade!
Swallow blade! I'm ready! Slice!
Dance in the wind!
You picked the wrong fight!
Air thrust!
Eternal devastation! Raging Luna Storm!
but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
Alphen! Boy, am I glad to see you safe.
Well, did you manage to convince them we're not in league with any lord?
Yeah, eventually.
When the ship sank, I thought we were done for. Guess the world just couldn't keep us apart.
Yeah, and now we can finally go rescue Shion.
There's something I need to tell you guys first. I got my memory back.
So, what did you remember? Are you able to tell us now?
Give the man some space, Law.
I remember being up on Lenegis.
Go on.
I was abducted from Dano. I was told if I ever wanted to return home, I'd have to cooperate. So that's what I did. Next thing I knew, they had made me into the Sovereign.
You mean to say you won the crown contest? As a Dahnan?
No. They kept me locked in a strange facility. They experimented on me, like I was nothing more than an animal. There were others, but only I survived. Of course, I wasn't really a king. The reality was that they treated me worse even than the lowest slave. The only reason I survived was because my body was able to withstand the Sovereign's power that they placed inside me.
The crest that appeared behind you on Almadria's ship must have undoubtedly been that of the Sovereign. It all makes sense now. Your affinity with the Blazing Sword, and the strange powers you possess, they were all because you were the Sovereign.
Okay, but why would the Renans go out of their way to give you all that power? Just what exactly does being the Sovereign entail?
They said it was for something called the Spirit Channeling Ceremony. They taught me how to harness my power for when the big day came. As for what the ceremony was actually for, unfortunately, I never found out.
So if what you're saying about being on Lenegis is true, then maybe you really did meet Shion. After all, you said you recognized her from somewhere, right?
But Shion said she'd never seen him before. How do you explain that?
I was wrong. It wasn't Shion I knew from Lenegis. It was Naori. She was a Renan maiden they paired me with during the spirit channeling ceremony. She's the woman I kept seeing in my dreams.
A maiden? What?
Wait, so this Naori figure just happens to be the double of Shion? Bit coincidental, isn't it?
Naori's family name was Imeris.
As in Shion Imaris?
So they're distant relatives or something? Wait, or are they sisters?
Your guess is as good as mine. All I know is it was Naori. She's the one who put the mask on me.
The mask? But why?
To keep my soul from devouring itself over the guilt. After what I did on Lenegis. Over the lives I took.
Lives? You mean you staged a rebellion?
Perhaps it was a part of this spirit channeling ceremony?
I don't know. Whatever it was that the spirit channeling ceremony was supposed to achieve, it didn't turn out as planned. I lost consciousness halfway through. By the time I came to, Lenegis was a sea of flames. I opened my eyes to see Naori there, weeping. I shudder to think of how many deaths I caused that day. Certainly more than any of these lords can claim, I'm sure.
You really expect us to believe this? First the Sovereign, then Lenegis? You couldn't possibly have done all that.
I wonder. In ancient scripture, there is tell of a terrible calamity that befell Lenegis, nearly destroying it. The restoration took years, and required the work of countless laborers.
By ancient, you mean...
It predates the crown contest, to a time before even the first Renan invasion of Dana. More than 300 years ago.
300? But that'd make Alphen...
That's right. I'm pretty much an antique of a human being. Deep down, maybe I already knew.
Alphen...
Some hero, huh? Cooperating with the same villains who snatched me from my home, committing mass slaughter, only for it to slip my mind. Then, when I finally remember, turns out I'm so old I've got scripture written about me. So much for standing up to injustice. I've probably got more blood on my hands than all the lords combined!
Alphen, stop! Honestly, I'm not going to pretend to understand what all this means. But what I do know is that right now, you're just reacting to the shock.
Kisara.
Listen, what you really need is time. Time to process things and get your head straight. Truth be told, I think that probably goes for all of us.
What about Shion? We can't just...
I'm worried about Shion too, Law. But it's clear that Alphen's in no fit state to fight. This is Volron, remember? Even at full capacity, it's practically a suicide mission. We stay put in the village till we're ready. Okay, everyone? Take some time to think things through, okay? But remember, we're all here for you if you need us. No matter how dark things might seem, you're not alone, Alphen.
Thank you.
It's fine. All right, everyone. Let's break for now.
Do I even have the right to fight? Do I have the right to go to Shion's rescue? What do the others think?
You're certainly full of surprises, aren't you?
Trust me, it's not intentional.
Sorry, that was insensitive of me. Though, there's still an awful lot I wish I could understand. Every new piece of information seems only to yield further mysteries. The truth feels just as elusive as when we first started. I am well aware of where you got your powers. But why, as a Dahnan, do you bear the same crest as the current Renan sovereign? More to the point, why choose a Dahnan for their sovereign in the first place? And then there is the Maiden, a figure so powerful, she's playing yin to the sovereign's yang in esoteric ceremonies. And yet, I'd never even heard of her. Then again, this all occurred 300 years ago. What if the term sovereign doesn't even hold the same meaning as it did back then? Listen, I may be a traitor among my people, but I am still Renan, born and raised. I learned the same history, listened rapt to the same tales. And yet now I feel like there was little truth to any of it.
Speaking of which, there's something else that I remember from the spirit channeling ceremony. It used the Renis Alma.
You're certain?
Yes. Or at least that's what they called it. Only you would know if it was one and the same.
Oh, I have never laid eyes on the real artifact myself. And you never participated in a crown contest. You're not even Renan. Many mysteries lay buried in these 3 centuries past.
3 centuries is more than several lifetimes. Was I really out that long?
Well, I'm only estimating based on historical record. But all the facts would seem to point that way.
Who the hell am I?
If I may be frank, we have even bigger fish to fry than that. By comparison, the far more important question at hand is, just what does it all mean?
Frank, huh?
Sometimes, we need a little help in addressing the truth behind our pain. Not to compete over lives lost, but I suspect your count is still somewhat beneath mine.
Thanks for lending me an ear. And sorry for being a bother.
Please, no thanks are necessary. The quicker you get back on your feet, the sooner we can all get back out there.
All this time, I thought it was the worrying about Shion and the pain bringing you down. I didn't realize you were lonely too.
I guess all of us are. In one way or another.
Yeah, but you've only just found out. I mean, no, not found out. Remembered.
To tell you the truth, I was actually beginning to forget I'd even lost my memory in the first place. Now that it's returned, well, you can see what I'm like. It's strange. When I think about Lenegis, it still feels like it was only a year or 2 ago that I was there. But then I realized what feels like years was actually centuries ago.
What about your hometown? Do you know if it's still there?
I doubt it. When the Renans invaded, the world as I knew it changed overnight. Even if the place is still there physically, I expect the people will be long gone. Certainly everyone I knew, at least. My family, my friends.
Yeah, I know how that feels. I have no home to return to either. No family waiting for me. I used to curse my bad luck that I'd ever been born a mage in the first place. Otherwise, if I hadn't, maybe my mother and father would still be alive today. Although if that had been the case, I guess I'd probably still be just another slave with no means to resist. I'd never have met up with you guys, that's for sure.
Have you learned to embrace your powers yet?
Nuh-uh. I resent them a little less than before, though. They've kept me alive this long, right? I try not to think about it too much. After all, who can predict what the future will hold? I guess what I'm trying to say is that with everything that's happened in your past, finding out you're the Sovereign and all, it's no wonder you're conflicted. Heck, honestly, I think anyone would be.
Rinwell.
First it was Shion, then it was me, and now it's you. All of us suffering, just because of some power we never even asked for.
Yeah. All this time you were suffering right in front of me, and I never even knew. I feel like I finally understand what you and Shion were going through.
You couldn't have known. Still, if you want to make it up to her, shouldn't we hurry it up and rescue her already? Poor Shion must be lonely, all by herself wherever she is.
Yeah, you're right. Let's get going. What do you see out there?
Zeugles. Strays by the looks of it. We unwittingly disturbed their territory on our way here, and now they're looking pretty riled up. So, feel like you're making headway? You know, sorting through things?
All I know is Shion needs our help. As for what happens after that...
Say, how did you get back down here from Lenegis anyway?
I came down in a Renan starship. I have Naori to thank for that.
What happened to her? Did she come with you?
She stayed behind. Just as I wanted to get back to Dana and my people, Naori's place was with her fellow Renans, performing her duties as the Maiden. Neither of us asked for the power or roles we were given. I suppose we felt a kinship with each other in that sense. But even then...
Wait, so you mean it wasn't just Danans like you that Lenegis abducted? You're saying they forced Naori, one of their own, to serve against her will as well?
Even within Renan society itself, there exists a hierarchy. I don't think she was ever given the option to refuse. Despite that, she did everything she possibly could to serve her people. The very same ones I ended up slaughtering. And even after that, she still helped me escape back to Dana. She stayed behind on Lenegis to help any of her people who survived. I owe her more than words can express. A debt left to fester for what? 300 years? How do I even begin to make up for something like that?
In all honesty, you don't. You can't atone for what's happened in the past. I don't think anyone can. Be it several centuries ago, or just yesterday.
What are you saying? That I might as well give up?
I'm saying you don't have to be a white knight in shining armor. Back after my brother had passed away, it was you who told me that his dream lived on inside me. And you did the same for him, for Dohalim, when he was ready to give up too. You were there for both of us. You know what I heard? I heard you telling me to keep fighting, to strive no matter what.
Then I was out of line. I had no right to ask that of you.
No, you're wrong. Those words were exactly what I needed to hear at the time. In fact, I would go as far as to say that I wouldn't even be here had I not heard them. Left to my own devices, who knows when I would have been able to pick myself up. Besides, it's not like killing all those people was a choice that you made of your own free will, right? The truly terrible ones are the people who abducted you. The ones who forced you to wield that power. They're the ones you should be blaming. Not only that, but that guilt you feel inside, that's all the proof you need to know you're a good person, Alphen. Do you understand? If I'm still allowed to fight and keep on living, then damn it, Alphen, so the hell are you. But if you're still not convinced, then ask yourself this. What is it that you've really been fighting for this whole time? Go on, ask yourself.
What I've been fighting for, huh?
Alphen, are we gonna go rescue Shion or what? What's gotten into you, man? Aren't you worried about her?
Do I even have any right to be?
If you were in my place, you'd say, to hell with all that. What do you want to do?
Sounds like me. Pretending I have all the answers is kinda my forte.
Come on, man, snap out of it. This isn't like you. Look, I get it. You finally remember your past, only to feel like you've lost yourself again. You're in shock, and who wouldn't be? Worse still, you blame yourself for what happened. And yeah, I don't agree, but that doesn't mean I don't understand either. But here's the thing. None of that's got anything to do with Shion.
I guess.
It's about Naori, isn't it? Look, you're still here, aren't you? Who's to say this chick isn't alive and kicking out there somewhere, too? Fine, I've said my piece. The thing is, though, where does this leave Shion?
My power consumed me once already. I left behind a path of fire and destruction. And the same thing could happen again. I can't guarantee anyone's safety, including Shion's.
So you think we might get burned up because of your sovereign powers? I can think of worse ways to go. Come on, fight this thing! What happened to the guy who talked to me after my dad died? The one who cared enough to reach out and save me? That's the guy I was proud to follow. Not this faltering imposter who's taken his place.
Law.
No, I'm serious. What's gotten into you, man? Just give me the word and I'll beat some sense into you if that's what it takes. Now, I'm gonna ask you this once and only once. Are you serious about rescuing Shion or not? What's it gonna be, Alphen?
What do you think? Of course I want to rescue her. Hell, I'd do it right now if I could.
So then quit griping and do it already!
Listen, you're probably right about all this.
Alphen.
It's exactly like you said. Whatever happened in my past has nothing to do with Shion. But there's still so much that There I go again. So much for the inspiring Alphen of old.
He could be a pain sometimes. Besides, even a hero has to let the cracks show once in a while, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Just give me a little more time to fill in the cracks. And thanks, Law.
Hey, don't even mention it. You've totally got this, Alphen. I believe in you.
Back to the inn, I guess.
There you are!
What is it?
Zeugles, that's what! They're almost at the village gates!
Any closer and they'll be house hunting. I knew we shouldn't have cut through their territory.
That sounds bad.
Can you fight? No shame in bowing out if you're not up for it.
Kisara's right. You don't want to go overdoing it.
I'm up for it.
Really?
You ready?
As ready as I'll ever be. It's now or never, right?
Alvin, right. Great to have you back. Now let's do this!
Look sharp, people. If we don't act fast, they're going to get into the village.
Right. We need to hurry.
Remember, if the pain's too much,
We've all got our own pain to deal with. I'm done letting others pick up my slack.
Here they come! We can't let even a single one through!
There's a firm no-Zoogle policy.
Fine by me. Let's get to work then.
Divine Strength! Are you arguing that through? Here goes! Not on my watch!
Leave the ensnaring to me. Yeah! And
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
Flaming meteor!
I'm on it!
It's almost too strong.
Then split it open!
Be my guest.
I'll tear you apart!
Grenade!
Swallow Dance!
Sealed.
Slash! Swallow Blade!
Maybe this one.
You picked the wrong fight.
Here
Swallow
goes!
Blade!
More with that
In a bind! Slash!
Tiger Blade! Bullseye! Magic Sam!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
Alphen, you okay?
I'm fine. This pain thing really hurts, huh?
But hey, at least you're still alive.
It wouldn't be called pain if it was pleasant. It can be pretty useful, though. It's good motivation to improve and get stronger.
Guess I've got a lot of room to improve in that regard.
Anyway, I'm glad we could protect the village, especially after everything they've done for us.
Yeah.
You know, Thistleum kind of reminds me of home. The people here have hidden themselves away out of the fear of being found, always watching their backs. Though in the end, home was destroyed anyway.
That won't happen here.
Oh? Is that a hint of fighting spirit I sense?
Yeah. I won't lie. Some of these memories will take a while to process. But I've learned something too. My rage, this fury I feel at our so-called rulers, it comes from having so much of myself stripped away from me back then. Friends, family, home. They took everything from me. and left me with nothing but guilt. I was completely alone. At least that's what I thought. But not anymore. Since I awakened, I've met people who I care about. Friends who hold me up. Friends who make me feel like I'm worth something. And I won't lose that. Not ever again. I'll protect those bonds with everything I have. That's why I need to keep fighting.
But Xion comes first.
Of course. First we rescue Xion, then we defeat Volron, and liberate Dana. Everyone, will you fight with me?
Say the word and I'm there.
Certainly no objections.
Then it's agreed. Our next stop will be the capital, Pelegion. According to the villagers, there's a huge cliff separating Thistleum from the capital. Luckily for us, there's a path we can use to climb up.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
We don't know what lies ahead. We should prepare well before we venture forth.
Yeah, can't exactly fight at the top of your game.
Okay.
Why?
Ugh. Damn it.
What?
Is that so?
Okay.
Great job.
I'll teach these small fry who's the apex predator of these waters. Just watch and see.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Now.
I guess we're having fish for dinner tonight.
You sense one of your pals, Hootle?
Man, this place is thick with foliage.
I know. It feels like we're going to be swallowed up by all these plants if we stay in here.
Indeed. I much prefer the forests in Menancia myself.
Not that I don't agree, but maybe now's not the best time for Elda Menancia pride.
What's up?
Once we get to the mountain, the terrain won't be easy. We should rest up here before pressing on.
But what about Xion? She's waiting for us.
All the more reason to conserve our energy.
Huh?
It's not only the mountain. Hard though that may be, it's a pittance compared to what follows. Namely Volron. We wear ourselves out now, or worse still, get injured. We might as well show up gift-wrapped. Right, Kisara?
That's right. Besides, Alphen still hasn't fully recuperated yet.
I'm fine. Don't stop on my account.
Oh, really? Well, in that case, it's me who wants to take a rest for a while. Does that suit you better?
A little bit.
So, Alphen, 300 years, huh? Care to share the secret to such a long and healthy life?
I wish I knew. Once I left Lenegis, the next thing I remember is waking up in Calaglia. Everything in between is a blank.
You mean there are still gaps in your memory?
I've heard of starships with devices that can stave off imminent death by putting their passenger into a deep sleep. They're usually only intended as a temporary solution, until proper treatment for an ailment or injury can be obtained.
You think he might have been asleep in that starship for 300 years? But why? What would be the point?
Might this Naori have had a hand in it?
What do you mean?
If she's Renan like you say she is, she would have understood how to operate the starship better than yourself.
You're saying she deliberately put me to sleep for 300 years?
Dohalim, that's a bit of a leap.
Forgive me, I spoke out of turn. I'm merely thinking aloud, that's all. Shion and the maiden Naori. After 300 years, it's not unreasonable to suspect they may be related. Shion is nearly the perfect image of her, yes? She also just so happens to be connected to you. Is it merely a coincidence?
Like I've told you a million times already, I wouldn't know.
Well, if you're absolutely certain that it couldn't have been Naori, then I guess I must have been mistaken. Complicated machinery can sometimes break down or have failures. Sorry for being presumptuous.
Hold on a sec. Alphen, you said the mask was to placate you, right? To keep your guilt and rage in check? And you were wearing it the whole time you were asleep, right?
I guess I must have been.
So that's 300 years you were wearing it. It's just a hunch, but do you think that the mask might be...
The reason he lost all his memories?
All but a select few strong ones, so deeply ingrained in his psyche that he saw them in the form of dreams. It's not completely out of the question.
In which case, maybe it was the mask numbing his sense of pain, too.
It's certainly possible. As for how, I wouldn't know, but the dampening effect on his psyche could have manifested itself physically as well.
I'm sorry for snapping at you back there. It's thanks to you that I feel like that we're finally getting somewhere with all this.
No apologies necessary. Reading others' feelings has never been my strong suit.
So he finally admits it.
I really hope Shion's okay.
I get why you're concerned. But if you don't rest when you can, you're going to regret it.
She's right. We need our rest to conserve our strength.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks, you two.
No problem. We'll save Shion. I know we will.
Feels like I'm melting.
Calaglia was pretty hot, but at least the air there was dry. Out here, it feels like I'm trying to walk through thick soup.
I can hardly breathe, it's so stuffy. And don't get me started on the insects. You hanging in there, Hootle?
It's brutal, all right. I can feel my energy being drained away just by walking. All this vegetation makes it hard to keep an eye out. Keep your wits about you, everyone. And watch you don't keel over while you're at it.
What's needed at times like these is a relaxing hot spring. That would soon help us adjust.
And where do you expect us to find one of those?
What about you, Alphen? All that gear, and you hardly seem to be breaking a sweat.
Yeah, I guess when you've lived a life devoid of pain for as long as I have, even feeling hot and bothered can be a welcome change.
Well, lucky you, I guess. Just don't expect us to carry you when you pass out.
By the way, how is Mahavar doing? Wait, don't tell me we still haven't found him.
It's not like we haven't been looking. I've covered the whole length and breadth of the coast, but...
All of the other crew members are accounted for, including us. But we weren't able to find Mahavar. He's still missing.
I see.
Perhaps he couldn't bring himself to abandon the ship.
You mean at the bottom of the ocean? Damn it.
We don't know that it sank. We all washed up on the same shore. If the ship went down, isn't it strange we haven't come across a single piece of debris?
Do you think he might still be alive somewhere out there?
I think stranger things have happened. Whether he's alive or otherwise, we've exhausted all the avenues available to us. All we can do now is press on ahead.
Fine, let's get going. Thistlein was founded by Danans fleeing the tyranny of Renan lords, right? But when you first came, they must have known Dohalim was Renan. So why do you think they let us in?
They almost didn't. But it wasn't just Dohalim they were wary of. They didn't trust any of us.
Even the weird Danans just like them?
When you live life in constant fear of being pursued, it's only a matter of time before all outsiders start to seem a potential threat.
I suppose that makes sense. So how did you convince them to trust us?
You saw how destitute the village was. They needed food, badly. We hunted some Zeugles for them. That seemed to do the trick.
Of course, a little magic-assisted roast didn't hurt things.
Never underestimate a full stomach's ability to put a person at ease. It turns out a hearty meal can be a powerful weapon.
Good! This came out just the way I hoped.
Alone. I'm all alone.
Let's go. We don't want to keep Shion waiting.
I always hear you muttering to yourself whenever we're in battle. So, just what are you saying?
Why do you want to know? Does it bother you or something?
Not really. It's just the way you talk is sometimes kind of creepy. So I was wondering if you vent your frustration through your magic. Are you yelling, "You stupid jerk!" or something like that to pump yourself up?
What? No, that's not what's happening during my incantations. I'm just focused, so I match my tone to fit the mood of whatever I'm trying to invoke.
Invoke?
How do I put it? Basically, the elemental astral energy behind each art, I guess.
Astral energy? Hold on, are you saying you can talk to astral energy?
Not exactly. But if I put emotion into what I say, it's easier for me to properly cast my arts. That makes sense?
Kind of. Okay, so if you can talk to astral energy, then you can ask it to, like, predict the weather or find secret treasure?
Wait, you don't really think that, do you?
Or you can ask it to send down lightning to where there's bad guys lurking and...
May lightning condemn those who bear fault! Thunderblade!
Ah, what are you doing? You almost fried me with that!
I just asked the astral energy to send down lightning where there were annoying boys. That's what we're going to climb?
The villagers managed it on their escape from the city. We're going in the opposite direction, but where there's a will...
There's always a way, right? And it looks like we're out of options. Let's grit our teeth and go.
Go no further!
Eternal devastation!
Gale Force!
Plasma shock!
The close one!
Swallow blade!
Keep going in!
The enemy wields arts too.
You'll soon see about that! Here comes!
I'll smash you!
Your form is
Don't
captivating.
mind if I do!
I'm captivating?
Your battle form, silly.
Dance in the wind!
Blade!
Air thrust! Blade! Spread!
This could be useful. Crap. This injury hurts more than I thought. Shion, sorry, but could you... Oh. Right.
I don't know what to do. Things can't go on like this.
What do you mean?
Ah! Oh! It's you, Rinwell.
You were talking about me, weren't you?
No, I wasn't. I've just been thinking about some things.
Really? How unusual.
Cut it out. I'm being serious here.
Sorry.
I was thinking about... You know how I used to work for Ganabelt back when I was in Cyslodia?
Yeah, of course. You were brought in after the Snake Eyes killed your friends, right? I mean, you had to.
Right. I used to have nightmares about it when I fell asleep. But lately that's been happening a lot less. I don't know how to feel about that.
That's a good thing, isn't it? You should be happy.
Yeah, but... I did a lot of terrible things back then. And I'm scared I'm starting to forget what I did.
Okay, so let me just get all of this straight. You think you'll forget everything if you stop having those nightmares? Why?
Because... You know me. I'm freaking stupid.
But it sure doesn't sound to me like you've forgotten.
Oh, yeah. But still.
I don't think those nightmares going away means you've forgotten. Maybe it's a sign that you've come to terms with what you did.
Come to terms? You mean like Alphen with his past? You think that's what's happening?
Yeah, I do. You're pretty amazing, Law.
I am?
Yeah. not all of us have figured out how to accept our pasts. Least of all, me.
Rinwell. Is it just me, or does Rinwell suddenly seem much more comfortable around Dohalim than she used to?
I noticed that too. When the two of them came and found me together back on the beach, I could hardly believe my eyes.
It's not like we had a choice or anything. Law and Kisara had to hang back to convince the villagers we meant them no harm. More than that, though, there are a lot of things I've still got to come to terms with regarding Almeidrea. But I guess I'm through making snap judgments based on someone's origin. At least, I'm trying to be. I guess you could say it's a work in progress.
I see. You hear that, Law? Sounds like all that hard effort wasn't for nothing.
Yeah.
That's got to be reassuring to hear, right, Dohalim?
Not being subjected to unwarranted suspicion is certainly welcome.
Yeah, that long-winded way you have of talking, though, not so much a fan of that.
I think that's more of a personality thing than a Renin trait.
Really? In that case, I won't have to feel guilty getting annoyed by it.
Seriously? Is this a joke?
You picked the wrong fight!
Ready, Slug! Tiger Blade!
Eternal devastation!
This one's
Mono
One
Blade!
more time! Now, Tiger Blade!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade! See that?
That training's paying off!
Dagger! Bolero!
Inferno Blade!
No complaints from me.
Something's on your mind. You having second thoughts about rescuing Shion?
Of course not. Shion's our friend. Almeidrea was the one I hated. For as long as I can remember, she served as a symbol to me of everything Renin. But ever since getting to know Shion, I realized it doesn't make sense to group people together like that. Every individual is different.
I see.
Besides, the situation with Almeidrea was something else entirely. I'd already decided I wasn't going to kill her, but when I saw her die right in front of me, a part of me thought it served her right, that she'd gotten what she deserved. But another part regretted that someone else had come along and killed her instead. Don't get me wrong. If I had the chance again, I still wouldn't kill her. But it's not like I'll be shedding any tears now that she's gone. It's all so confusing. I don't know how to make sense of any of it.
Who said it had to make sense?
Huh?
Rinwell, you've done nothing wrong. You've started to question the beliefs you've held all your life. It's only natural for you to feel disoriented. You didn't give in to the hatred you felt for Almeidrea. You made a choice not to kill her. And that's significant, whether you realize it or not. As for what it means exactly, that might be worth taking some time to figure out on your own.
Some time.
Or don't, if you don't want to. It's just an idea. I'm still searching too, remember?
No, I think you're right. It can't hurt to keep searching after all. And hey, thanks, Kisara.
I've never stood so close to a waterfall like this before.
I bet it'd feel real refreshing to take a shower underneath this water.
Hi, Hoodle! Photon Slash! Dance in the wind! Feel! I'll be safe running!
Bet that shell hides something tasty.
Give up!
Eternal devastation!
It's almost too strong.
Leave the enemy's arcs to me!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Claw!
Firmament
Go
Render!
in!
Eternal devastation! Tear you apart!
Arrow Claw!
Tiger, make it rain!
Eternal devastation! In an instant! Impact Claw!
Didn't even break a sweat.
No choice! Slash! Swallow Blade! Crush! Eat dirt!
One more!
I'm on Swallow Blade! Slash! Swallow Blade!
Tiger Blade! Dragon Shell!
Crush!
Here goes!
No armor can stop me!
Remind me to stay under a good
In a bind?
Swallow Blade! In here!
Slash!
Let's get you all
Swallow
out the way!
Blade!
Shattering the pieces!
Right
Swallow
after
Blade!
That's my cue!
Shut him down!
Now!
Swallow Blade!
Air thrust!
Everybody okay?
We're all right, Alphen.
Thus our strength yet grows.
How much farther?
I don't think we're even halfway there yet. Hang in there.
Not even.
Hi, Hoodle!
Now you see what I can do!
Slash! Swallow
Don't
Blade!
mind if I do!
Slash! Swallow Blade! It's on! Eat dirt!
Whoa! Hey!
Slash! I'm on it! Swallow Blade! Slash!
Let's get you all tucked away!
Swallow Blade!
We managed to turn the tide!
For now. But things could
Feel.
shift at a moment's notice.
You're right. Better stay alert.
Now we'll never crumble!
Make it rain!
That frickin' does it! Almost!
Lightning orb! Banana, let's
It
go!
must take guts to fight without a weapon.
I'm not brave. I just do what I have to.
If you're ever in a pinch, just say the word.
Eternal devastation!
Make it rain! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Let's refrain from losing.
I think the animals back at the ranch should be all grown up by now.
I always loved the sound of hammers. Banging away.
What is this place?
Careful. We've got company.
Doesn't look like we're getting past without a fight.
Watch your feet. Fall from here and it's curtains.
We're just trying to get past. Get out of our way!
Save your breath while that thing seizes a talking meal.
So let's show it how wrong it is. Is it trying to stop us?
In here!
Blast the shot!
What? What the hell is going on?
Fall back, Alvin. We'll take point here.
Thanks.
Armor
Anyone
won't
pose on
save you! Let's tear him up!
Lightning
It's turned to a storm!
Lightning condemned!
It's finished!
Let's do it!
Tiger
It's turned to a
Hurricane! I'm just getting started!
Swallow blade!
Lightning orb!
Nothing
Raging
gets by me.
cascade!
Talon Storm! Denied!
You picked the wrong fight!
Magic is
Small! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! Look sharp!
Eternal devastation!
One more!
Lightning ready!
Plasma shot!
Tiger Blade! Knuckle!
Magic is air throw not in your dreams!
Burn! Anything in armor is all mine!
Its wings are lighting up!
It's getting ready to attack!
Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
Such tremendous power.
Don't face it head on.
I'll tear you
Safely
apart!
forced!
Mine.
Prepare to be seized! I can carve through armor!
It's on!
Divine streak!
You picked the wrong fight! Crush!
I'll tear you apart!
This one's mine.
Lightning condemned! Thunder
This
blade!
one's mine.
Plasma shot!
Eat this! Talon Hurricane!
Hold on to your art. It's getting stronger!
Soda!
Inferno Punch!
Switching up its
Safely
movement!
charged!
Watch out!
It looks like we made a mess.
Divine streak!
Eternal devastation!
Complete focus!
Crush!
Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Photon blast!
I'll stop its charge.
Thanks, Kisara!
This one's mine.
Dance in the wind!
All yours, Kisara.
With fauna like that, I'm impressed so many people from Thistleum made it through here alive.
Who's to say there weren't a whole lot more of them who didn't?
Well, at any rate, it should be a safer climb now that we've cleared the way a bit, right?
No. So long as people feel the need to face terrain this perilous, I'd say true safety's some way off.
You mean defeating Volron and putting an end to the crown contest, right? I guess that would be the best solution here, huh?
We've wasted enough time here already. Let's get going. Xion needs us.
How are we still not there yet? It feels like we've been climbing this mountain forever.
It helps if you try not to look up or down. All you need is silent determination. Talking too much will only waste energy and burn you out.
I'm too tired to look up or down, even if I wanted to.
Take care you don't fall, at least. Unless you want to make a Zoogl's day, that is.
Zoogles? Why would they care if I fell or not?
How would you feel if a 3-course meal fell right out of the sky at your feet?
Zoogle Chow.
Law? Best not to listen to him if you can help it. You'll only be encouraging him if you do.
Tell me that before I listen next time!
Still, Dohalim has a point. One wrong step and it's curtains.
Wouldn't it be great if we could all fly like Hootle? I bet even the refugees who didn't make it would have made it to Thistleum that way.
Until we magically sprout wings, let's just watch where we're stepping instead, okay? Come on. Shion's waiting for us.
Now or never. Thunderblade! In an instant! Impact Cross! We're in good form! We're so high up.
Hey! Are you insane? What the hell were you thinking? I thought we were gonna die!
One simply needs to be bold and act with conviction in times such as these.
Did you know it was gonna be safe before you jumped? Because I sure didn't.
More or less. I figured there would likely be a basin here akin to most such waterfalls.
Don't just make people jump off cliffs on a hunch!
Are we ever gonna finish climbing this ladder?
We're climbing a considerable height. It's only natural that it will take some time.
That's not the problem here!
We are getting closer to the top, aren't we?
You've just got to keep your spirits up, Rinwell. Positive thinking is everything.
We finally reached the top.
My limbs feel like they're about to fall off.
Already? You kids need to train more.
She's right. We don't have time to catch our breath.
Someone's got a lot of pep in his step.
No choice. Swallow blade! Slide!
They got me flanked!
Eat dirt!
Air thrust!
No further!
Where's the shot? Piercing
Slide! Swallow blade!
Leave the enemy's arc to me!
No complaints here!
Swallow blade!
That's enough!
Thunderblade! You're really strong, Alphen.
I'm just trying to do the best I can.
Still, it's reassuring to have you around.
Tiger Blade!
Not in your dreams!
Oh! Now I'm real mad!
Crush! Eternal devastation! Crush!
Lightning orb!
Wish they were all that easy.
Yeah, I think we might be getting too strong.
Isn't that good?
Play along, would you?
Guess I misread the landing.
We did it. We've reached the top of the mountain.
About damn time. My knees are singing symphonies over here.
Look, there it is!
That's it. That's Pelegion, the seat of Volron's power.
So that's where Shion's being held?
Most likely.
Most likely.
That is what I said, yes.
Pelegion's still our best lead. So that's where we go, right?
Any advice before we head in there?
No.
No?
In the ancient tongue, Ganeth Heros means Fortress of Naught, though I fail to see what insight that nugget of trivia holds.
I guess I just thought you might have something we could use.
Since Volron became Lord, the only thing this realm has been known for is its shroud of secrecy. It is Volron's stronghold. All else is incidental. Just keep in mind that you can't be too careful inside.
Speaking of which, just how are all of us planning to get inside exactly?
It's not like there are any secret passages.
We've come this far. If there's no other way in, I guess we'll just have to use the front gate. Volron told us to come find him, which means he's expecting us. Let's do this the old-fashioned way.
Land of Water or no, this place has a most curious atmosphere.
I'd be taking a dip in it if the circumstances were better.
Sorry, but we have to push through for now. Shion is waiting.
Yeah, I hear ya. A soak can wait.
I sure hope nothing bad's happened to Shion.
Keep those thoughts to yourself, Rinwell. Everyone's anxious enough as it is.
Sorry. It's just... I can't seem to stop thinking about it. What do you think it is that Volron wanted with her anyway?
Going by what he said back on Almadria's ship, it would appear his primary target is Alphen. Though, it's likely he hasn't forgotten the blow he sustained at Shion's hand either. That might even be what ignited his interest.
Yeah, did you see the way he reacted? It was like he was enjoying every moment. Even his pain at Shion's thorns. Oh, that guy's just creepy.
Let's just hope he's keeping his perverted tendencies in check.
What? Law? Don't say things like that!
It's not like we weren't all thinking it.
That's still no reason to...
All right, you two. Now that's enough already. Alphen shouldn't have to grit his teeth while he listens to you.
Oh.
Sorry.
I swear I've seen that castle somewhere before. Right. I remember seeing it from the cliffs in Calaglia, across the sea.
You mean Volron's castle?
Yeah, that must have been it.
Geographically, it would make sense. It's most certainly large enough to be seen from afar.
Back then, I had Shion and Zephyr with me.
Well, we haven't lost Shion. We can still get her back, you know.
That's right. I won't let Volron take her away from us. Rinwell, mind if we chat a little?
You're still awake?
I've always been something of a night owl. Ever since back when I was someone's property. Turning in for the night only made the next day come quicker. I wasn't in any great rush.
Sorry.
What about yourself? Care to share something from before I knew you? You were part of a mage clan, right? Must have been handy being able to rely on magic for everything.
Hardly. In fact, not at all. Magic's not so special when you're not allowed to use it. Always scared of who might be watching?
Right. Sorry about that. I guess I've read too many fairy tales.
We were still made to study it every day. It doesn't make any sense if you think about it, studying the very thing you're being persecuted for. But that's what we did. Just like our parents and their parents before them. Honestly, I don't even know how far back it goes.
If memory serves, mages have been the stuff of legend for ages. Even as far back as 3 centuries ago, they were myths. Your people were persecuted even before the Renans got here.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the less it makes sense though. I mean, it was Astral Arts that let the Renans dominate Dana, right? Why didn't mages end up being the rulers of Dana then?
Maybe they tried, but they just didn't have the numbers. Or maybe domination just wasn't something they were interested in. Have you ever considered it might have been something like that?
I guess I haven't.
I wonder why magic alone attracted the attention it did. Swords can be just as lethal in the right hands. Why not ban them?
My best guess? Swordsmanship can be learned by anyone. Magic's more of an exclusive club.
So, you either have the gift or you don't. When something's not easily obtainable, it's hard to comprehend. People are scared of what they don't understand. And fear leads to persecution. So the problem's not magic. It could just as easily have been anything.
Yeah. Night, everyone! I want to go back to bed.